Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Isabel and this is my library. In today's video, I will be updating my reading journal for the month of June. Alright friends, so we are here today to work a little bit on my reading journal, and I'm here for a monthly update. And if you are new to my channel, welcome. I'm so happy that you are here. This is my reading journal, which I update periodically, I want to say. I'm pretty caught up with it this year of 2026. I feel like a lot of times I fall a little bit behind, but not this year. We've been pretty good about that. So if you are new, again, welcome. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel. If you like my content, like this video, leave me a comment and let me know that you are here. I'd love to say hello to you. And if you are interested in how I put together my 2026 reading journal or my journal from last year, there are plenty of videos up on my channel that explain to you how I did that and show you what I did this year and some things I changed from previous years. So this should not be overly difficult today. June was a very busy month for me, wrapping up the school year, as a lot of you know, and I only read 6 books, so it shouldn't take us too long to update. I will, of course, walk you through this entire update, and we'll take it one spread at a time. So the first thing I want to go ahead and update is my books read. So I did read 6 books in the month of June. I will let you know we are into the second week of July currently. So right now, I believe I'm at 51 books read, but after this, it will be 46 books read because we're only going to go ahead and update for the month of June. So we are going to go ahead and update this with my Stabilo .88 fine liner marker. And I'll go ahead and update my 6 book titles, the author, and the rating, and I'll go ahead and bring you back once I'm done with that. Alright guys, so I went ahead and updated this section. I added Secluded Cabin Sleep 6 by Lisa Unger, which I gave 4 stars to. The Murder of Roger Ackroyd by Agatha Christie, 4 stars. The Divorce, Frida McFadden, 3 stars. Upward Bound by Woody Brown, 3 stars. One by One by Frida McFadden, 4 stars. And The Ending Writes Itself by Evelyn Clark, 4.5 stars. And that was pretty much everything that I read. If you'd like to know my complete thoughts on this, there's a video up on my channel already, which is my June wrap up, and you'll be able to hear exactly how I felt about all of these selections. And if you want to know more about The Ending Writes Itself, that was actually my book club pick from my book club, I have a live discussion posted as well on my channel. All right, so we're doing pretty good. According to Goodreads, as of the filming of this video, I'm 9 books ahead of schedule for my yearly goal. Not bad at all. So it's time to update the Goodreads challenge, which you know I do based on my genres. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab my Tombow markers for this. As you guys know, I love my Tombow brush pens. I use them very often in most of my projects. If you are interested in my complete thoughts, I do have a review of this full set. I do have the complete set of the Tombow markers, and I do have a review up on my channel where I go over every single color, I swatch them, and I give you my complete thoughts. But of course, spoiler alert, I love them. So I created my Tombow brush pen number cheat sheet so that I know which are the colors that I am using, and I just go ahead and color those in based on whatever the genre is for each of those. So I'm gonna go ahead and start off with Secluded Cabin Sleep 6, which is a thriller, so that's gonna be my pink color. So I'm going to color that in pink. Then The Murder of Roger Ackroyd, which is a mystery, and that is in this blue color. And again, I make sure when creating my guide that I put the number of the marker on there so that it's a little bit easy to find. It is a little difficult when you have 100 plus. I think it's 106 total for this collection. So sometimes it's difficult because there are many blues and many pinks and so on and so forth. All right, so next we have The Divorce, which is a thriller. So I'm going back to this blush pink. Then I read Upward Bound, which is not really a memoir because there are fictional things on there. So I think it's mostly like literary fiction, I want to say. Might be like the best category. So we're going to use this neon pink color right over here, literary fiction for that one. Then One by One, which is another thriller. Lots of thrillers this month. And then The Ending Writes Itself, which is also pretty much a thriller. All right, and that is this part updated. So I do enjoy doing this in this color-coded kind of way because at a simple glance, I can see I read a lot of this pink color and I read a lot of this orange color. And when I go to my key, clearly that is thriller and horror books. So I see that that's the bulk of what I'm reading. I see I've only read 2 of this green thing. That's memoir or biography. I see that there's some periwinkle, that's middle grade. So yeah, like it's kind of useful to color code like this for me. That way I know that I am reading a variety of different genres, and it just helps me include my Goodreads challenge in a creative fashion. So this is my 26 to read in 26, which I've been doing, guys, so well in my previous challenges, but not so much in my 2026 challenge. So I need to do something to remedy this. If you're new to my channel, I don't get rid of my lists. I carry them over. So this is 26 and 26, 25 and 25. I carry over whatever I didn't get to read the previous year until I complete it. Here's the little bit that's left of 24 and 24, and the little bit that's left of 23 and 23. And 22 I did finish in, you know, years prior. So this is as far back as we're going. But I like to hold myself accountable for these lists that I make. So it doesn't really matter to me if I complete it necessarily in that year, as long as I'm completing these books. And I actually get a lot of satisfaction, you know, marking off things in the previous years. So let's go ahead and see. The Dream Hotel I will be reading with my best friend this month, so that's taken care of. I will be adding this later for next month as well. You'll see more about that now. I've added After Midnight, at least one of the stories in here for Jollo July. I have plans to read The Lying Game next month with Kat from Kat's Novel Adventures. I believe her book club is doing that, so I'm going to join in and read that because it's on my list. I have immediate plans for With a Vengeance. I have plans for Smile for the Cameras for my slasher readathon. More on that later. And I think that's all I have plans for. So, not bad. I haven't completed a single one, but I have plans to do that. Now, let's see for the 25 and 25. None of these. Did that one already. Did this one already. And, spoiler alert, An Academy for Liars. I did finish reading the first week of July for Summerween. So, I will update this next month. Let's see the 24 and 24 leftover ones. Nothing here. And the 23 and 23. I did read Secluded Cabin Sleep 6. So let me mark this off. I'm going to highlight this. And I did give this one 4 stars. Let me go ahead and add those stars there. All right, perfect. So that has been updated. All right, so now we're getting to my ABC challenge. I will be adding all 6 of these titles onto my ABC challenge. So I will fast forward you through this part and then I'll come back and talk to you a little bit more. So I'm happy to report that we got a couple new letters, so that's always fun. We got the O with 1 by 1. We got the U with Upward Bound. That's a winner. What else was new? Did I get another new one? Just 2. So pretty good. It seems like the letter I've read the most of has been D, with 7 titles for D. So not bad. I'm still missing G, J, K, Q, R, V, X, and X, just X. X is very difficult, if not impossible, but I think that's pretty good, guys. I don't try to fulfill these on purpose. I think I've talked about this before. I let it happen organically. Then when we have like 2 or 3 months left of the year, I start maybe purposefully trying to find some that will fit. So that's normally my strategy for that. So now we're going to color in my Shelfie. So I will be using my Tombow markers to kind of match the vibe of the book. So for example, For Secluded Cabin Sleep 6, I might be tempted to use like a lime yellow for that, or maybe like this beautiful blue, you know, whatever kind of fits in to remind me of the cover of the book while I document my reads on my shelves. So I'm going to go ahead and update this, and I'll bring you back once I'm done. All right, I went ahead and updated my Shelfie. I did use my Tombow markers for the spines, and to write the titles, I am using the Pilot multi-ball. And I have quite a few of these that I stocked up on, but I think they might be discontinued, or as of my last research, that's what I found. Not sure, but these are wonderful. You do want to wait like a second or two. That's why sometimes I color in 2 of them and then go back, because if it's too wet, it might smear a little bit, but it's normally pretty fast drying if you just give it a second. All right, so it is time to pick our favorite of the month. The ending writes itself. So I do need to do some printing on my Canon printer. It feels like I'm always printing, guys. I just filmed another video yesterday that is already up on my channel with my readathon information, and I bulk printed a ton of stuff, and somehow I have 8 more things to print on my list. So I'm gonna go ahead and get to printing those right now, and I will of course fast forward you through this part. If you want more specific information on how I print and what I do, there's plenty of videos up on my channel. All of my setup videos, in particular setup video 2 and 3, they walk you through that. Even the video I posted yesterday also shows you a little bit of me printing some stuff. So I will speed you through this part while I print 8 little covers that I need for multiple things, and then I'll bring you back. All right, guys, I'm bringing you back now. I went ahead and did the printing that I think I needed. Maybe I need more. Who knows, right? But for now, I needed The Ending Writes Itself because that was my favorite read of June. So I will go ahead and peel that off and add it as a representation for my month of June, as that being the monthly favorite. Then for my bracket, I also need to put down The Ending Writes Itself because it is the favorite for June. So then I'm going to do a little bit of erasing here. Do a lot of drawing with pencil. I get asked some questions about pencils and erasers a lot. So again, this is my favorite type of pencil to use, and I love these erasers. There's quite a variation of them that I enjoy, but these Prismacolor Magic Rub are great, as are any of the others that you've seen me use before, but they're absolutely wonderful, and they help you know where you're placing things without a problem. So let me label this here June. All right, and then my favorite from these 3 months, April, May, and June, my favorite was How to Kill a Guy in 10 Dates. So I will be putting that right over here. And then my first quarter and my second quarter have to battle that out. Let me label this quarter 2. And if you have been keeping up with my videos, you already know which one is the winner there, because I did put up on my channel my mid-year freakout tag. So if you haven't watched that, go ahead and watch it. I tell you some of my favorites, my least favorites, books that made me cry, fictional crushes, and all these fun questions. So that's currently up on my channel. Watch it if you want to know how my first half of the year has gone. But clearly, although these are 2 favorites of mine, if I had to pick just one, which I did for that video, my favorite for the first quarter and second quarter, which is now going to be the first semi-finalist, that is definitely 11/22/63. So I know right now that the winner for the first half of the year is 11/22/63. Will it be my favorite book of the year? I don't know, but we will see. I will later on draw my brackets once the year's over. I like to, do that perfectly fine when everything lines up. But right now, this is the winner of the first half of the year. So the semifinals will be between 11/22/63 and whatever is my favorite of this bottom half of the year. Oh my gosh, fun times, exciting. Can't wait to see what my favorite book of 2026 will be. But this is such a great contender for a favorite book of the year. All right, 5-star reads. Unfortunately, I didn't have any this month of June. 4.5 was my highest, which was The Ending Writes Itself. So nothing here, but spoiler alert, we're already into July and I have a couple 5 stars already. So it's looking promising, my friends. It's looking promising. My rainbow challenge I've completed. I'm done with this beautiful challenge. This is so fun. If you want to add some challenges to your reading journal and you don't know where to start, or you're a little intimidated, try the rainbow challenge. It's a lot of fun and easy to complete. So now we are getting ready for book Tetris. We get to play book Tetris. So this is a new addition to my reading journal. This year I've been wanting to do some sort of variation of this, and finally I did it this year. So basically, as I completed each of the books, I will, for example, the first book I finished in June was Secluded Cabin Sleep 6, so that goes first. So that is a thriller, so I need to place this puzzle piece somewhere on here. I don't turn them, I keep them to add the challenge, and I keep the order of the books. So we already see some little holes in here, you know, but I like to be authentic to the game and challenge myself a little bit. So yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and color in those 6 different books and play a little bit of Tetris, and I'll bring you back once I am done. Oh, and I am using my Crayola super tips for this. These are wonderful if you don't really need a brush pen, right? If you don't need a brush pen and you don't need a bullet type of marker and you're just looking for regular markers that are very well priced and very good, I recommend to you the Crayola super tips. They have boxes of all sizes. I don't even know what I have. I think I have 2 of them, but the largest is like 120 or something that I have. Not sure if they make a bigger one. I'm not gonna look it up because I'll be tempted to buy it. So do with that information as you will, but these are absolutely wonderful and at a great price. All right, so I'm gonna get started and I'll bring you back once I'm done updating this. All right, guys, so that was Tetris. Lots of fun. I did read a lot of thrillers this month, so I did stack up this whole little section here. I'm trying to find some of these things. I need to read a romance soon. I need to read, I don't even know what I need to read here, but we need to read a couple things that are going to fit in these little spaces, you know, but that's what makes it fun. So that's the update for book Tetris. This is the Haunted Library Book Club, which is my book club. In case you didn't know, I have a book club. If you like reading horror, mystery, or thriller books, you should join. It's completely free. We pick a book a month. We have a channel on my Discord where we talk about the book and have lots of fun, and I have a monthly live show where I bring in another booktuber or a friend to help me discuss. So we did read The Ending Writes Itself. I am going to give it a rating. This was a 4.5 star for me. I think I've told you guys these ink joys will be the death of me. I feel like I rant about them in every single video. I love the look of them. I love their colors. I mean, when have you seen a red like this? I love this. This brown is one of my favorite browns ever. But what is wrong with these pens? Why do all of mine skip so much? Do you guys have, I never hear back from you guys about the ink joys. Do you have issues with the ink joys? Because maybe it's just me. Maybe I just need to buy a brand new set and maybe they'll be better. I don't know. Why? I love these pens. Why don't they love me back? I don't know, but they always skip. They skip. And I have the other ones, the ones with the cap, and they also skip. I don't know what it is, but I love the barrel. I love the colors. I love the way they look with their little hearts. I don't know what it is, guys. I don't know. But anyway, so we read The Ending Writes Itself, 4.5 stars. Now for July, we will be reading Slasher Summer together because it fits in perfectly for my Summer Slasher Readathon, which I will talk about more in a little bit. So that's what we are reading together in the following months. In case you're wondering, the August pick is 9 Lives, and The Unknown by Riley Sager is the September pick. And I do have my announcement video where I talk about the next 3 books, which are these 3. So go ahead and watch that if you haven't seen it yet and you're interested in participating, and join our Discord so we can talk about the books that we are reading and we are loving. We've done pretty well, guys. Like, you know, the book club is doing pretty well. The lowest has been a 3-star. Everything else has been higher than that. All right, so my bestie book club, my bestie and I have an in-person book club. We read books a couple a month, a couple every other month. You know, it depends on how busy our schedules are, but I do have some updates. So we did read Secluded Cabin Sleep 6. I did give that. I need to figure out my life with this ink, Joy. Give me a second to just kind of let the ink flow. Okay, so let's do 4 stars for Secluded Cabin Sleeps 6. So I did tell you already, as of the first week of July, we did read An Academy for Liars. I'll tell you more about that at the ending of this month, and I'll put in the rating at the ending of this month. And we will be picking up The Dream Hotel probably tomorrow, I think, is when we're going to start reading that one. And so that's where we're going. We are caught up right now, so we have to pick like maybe 2 or 3 books we want to read next. We figured it kind of helps us when we pick 2 or 3 books at a time. It kind of gets us more motivated. So yeah, and I'm so thankful to my best friend because she always looks at my list. When she comes over, she'll ask me to take a picture, or when she sees it on my videos, she looks through these lists that I have pending of things that I've been wanting to read, and so she picks from there most of the time whatever she's interested in reading because she wants to help me meet my challenges, and she's wonderful. So that's the way that's going. My Read Christie Challenge, as you know, I'm a part of the Read Christie Challenge every year. That is something that the official Agatha Christie house puts together every year. They have these cool postcards. They give you some wiggle room, but they suggest 12 titles a year. They tell you what the themes are, you know, lots of fun. So I did not read the May one, but I did read the June one, so I'm pretty proud of myself. I'm gonna go ahead and color that in. Let me go ahead and pick a color that kind of goes well with that. And I did give this one 4 stars, so I'm going to be filling this in. It's a total of 4 stars. And I try to get to my Christies every month, but sometimes it's hard, guys, you know. But I do have set forth for myself as a lifetime goal that I want to read all the Christies. That comes from my mom. My mom has read every single Agatha Christie book, and I grew up watching her read them, and it's just a very nostalgic, beautiful connection that I have with my mom. So yeah, so far this year I read Appointment with Death, I read A Caribbean Mystery, and The Murder of Roger Ackroyd. As of the filming of this video, I have already started Curtain. It's depressing me so much, but I'm gonna get through it. I will get through it. Okay, so that's where we currently are with my Read Christie Challenge. The Buzzword Challenge, if you're not familiar, Kayla from Books and Lala, she created this Buzzword Challenge. As of the last 2 years, now it's not just the buzzword itself, but she also has a book cover challenge, which I'm here for. I try to participate in both and do both. I try to do these organically as they come up. I will be more strategic later on in the year once I need to fill in those gaps. But I haven't read anything with keyboard key, ordinal number, make, or superlative. Hopefully I get to those soon. nothing fire and smoke this month and nothing with music on the cover. So none of that, huh? Yeah, none of that. Okay. So that's where we are right now. So now we've gotten to the publication years. So this is something that I started tracking, I believe, last year, but I didn't like the way I was doing it. But I do like the way I'm doing it now. I'm going to go ahead and update. Let me see the color for the month. I always like to match it to the color of the month. So let me go back here to June. What is the color for June? Okay, it's like this green. So I'm going to pick a green highlighter. I have a perfect one. I think this is green. Let me make sure it's not blue leaning. It's kind of bluish leaning. Let me see if I have another one. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and find the perfect green that I want to use for this, or at least I'm going to try. And then I'll fast forward you through this so you can watch me get this done. Alright guys, I went ahead and updated this. So I read quite a few 2026 releases, one 1926, which is wonderful, and one 2020. So that's kind of where we were, and a 2022, where we were for this month. All right, so this is the Literally Dead book club, which is a book club that Kayla from Books and Lala does. And I did read The Ending Writes Itself. I do have to stamp that, but I do need to look for my stamp, so I will get back to this in my next update. The June book I didn't get to read. The July book, I've already ordered it, I believe, from Aardvark, so I look forward to reading that. I'm not sure if I'll get to it in July because July is crazy packed, but I will get to it soon because I'm really interested in reading that. Best Offer Wins, I still have to read it. It's like something I really want to read and I haven't gotten to it, so I need to figure out how to squeeze it in. So yeah, that's where we're going right now. So Kindle Unlimited, let's see if I was able to complete any of these Kindle Unlimited reads. All right, so let me get my stuff ready. Let's see. Let's go through this quickly. See if I was able to read any of these. None of these. But I do have to add some. The Divorce is not here. That's strange. So I'm going to add The Divorce. Because I did read that through Kindle Unlimited, and I also read One by One. I do have the physical version of this book, but I did read it on my Kindle through Kindle Unlimited. I thought I had One by One on here. Maybe I don't. So we'll go ahead and add that one. one by one. And I do like to read a couple Kindle Unlimited books each month to kind of justify my subscription for it. I think it's wonderful if if you have a Kindle and you enjoy reading a lot of titles that are on there. I think it's great. All right. So let's continue. So here we have the blurb game. I don't know if I've read anything that got to me through that. I have not, but I do have one thing to add for the blurb game. So the only book that I can use for the blurb game is Secluded Cabin Sleep 6. I don't use digital books for the blurb game. The Agatha Christie's are not really blurbed by authors. The same thing with these Frida ones, and the Book of the Month books also don't have any blurbs. Aardvark books do have it, but not Book of the Month. So the only thing I have is this. So let me go to the back real quick. I know Ruth Ware is blurbing the front, so I might go with her. Ruth Ware, Gilly Macmillan. I do have this book on my shelf as well. Heather Gudenkoff, The Overnight Guest. I read that. That was wonderful. I think I'm going to go... I did read The It Girl by Ruth Ware, but there is another Ruth Ware I want to get to, which is The Woman in Suite 11, I think, which is the sequel to the Cabin one. So I do want to read that. I'm already reading next month The Lying Game by Ruth Ware. If not, I would use that, but that came into my TBR because of Kat and her book club. So I'm going to add the Ruth Ware, The Woman in Suite 11. Let's go ahead and add that. So the way that this works is I go ahead and add the book that I read, Secluded Cabin Sleeps 6. Underline my titles whenever I can. Then I highlight it because I did finish reading it. And I mark it off, and then I put a little arrow that sends me to my next read, which is going to be The Woman in Suite 11. I think that's what it's called. All right, because I've been wanting to read that one, so we went ahead and added that to the blurb game, and that's been updated. All right, so read with Jenna. I did read with Jenna Upward Bound, so I'm going to mark my rating for that here, and that was 1, 2, 3 star. I've been neglecting my highlighting though, so let me try to do that real quick. So let's highlight this like this. Don't really have a red one, so this will do. All right, so there we have that. I have not read this, haven't read any of these. We'll be reading this when it comes out for the book troop, which is Gabby's book club, but I'll also be reading it for my book club because it is my September pick, I want to say. Yeah. All right, TBR recommendations, haven't read these. No Reese's books to add or nothing that I've read. Same goes for the Oprah book club. This is not getting updated. This is not getting updated. This is getting updated. So I have here the authors I've been trying to read through their backlist. So as you guys know, I've made it a priority to get through these Frida books. So let me double check that this is the same kind of highlighter. Yeah, that's that one. Okay, so I did read One by One. Yay me. I did read, oh, The Boyfriend. Did I read that for June? Or I read that for July, so I can't mark that yet. But spoiler alert, I did finish reading The Boyfriend. So which other one did I do here? One by One and The Divorce. Did I mark that already? I had marked that already. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and scratch this off of here. It's been done. I haven't read anything else from here, but see, hopefully I can read The Lion Game and The Woman in Suite 11 for Ruth Ware. Haven't picked up a John Mars or Anne Reid. I did my pre-order for the Lucy Foley book, Murder at the Grand Alpine Hotel, so that hasn't been released yet. Didn't get to any of these, so I think we are good. That's pretty much where we are right now with my backlist authors. All right, so now we get to go to June, which is right here. So let's go ahead and figure out what we were able to accomplish for this month. Let me find that same pen I was using if I can. I need a green highlighter. We'll use the same green. All right, so I think that's where we are. So let's see how we did. I read The Divorce. I read Secluded Cabin. I read One by One. I read The Murder of Roger Ackroyd. I read The Ending Writes Itself. And Upward Bound, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So all 6 things that I was able to finish reading were on my TBR. That's wonderful. And I will tell you that An Academy for Liars, I did read it, but I finished that in July. And I will be reading With a Vengeance soon. So we're making progress with this TBR. So I've gone ahead and highlighted those, right? So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so that includes all 6 of these. Let's go ahead and see if we were able to get any bingos. So I'm going to go through the books. I'm going to think for a little bit, see if I got some bingos. You guys know I've had terrible luck with the bingos ever since I've been doing these longer ones. Like, I feel like what I used last year was a 4x4, so it was easier. These that require 5 in a row are really difficult, guys. Okay, so I'm gonna fast forward through this, see if I got anything, and then I'll be back. Alright guys, so I didn't get bingo. I wasn't even close, guys. This is so difficult. I think they're oddly specific, like these particular ones. I'm still having fun trying to get through them, but yeah, didn't get through any of those. So now I'm gonna go ahead and put these on here. So I'm not sure if I will be writing any reviews this month. It's for June, I mean, you know. I feel like this ends up happening more often than not, that if I don't get to it right during that month, I feel like I start to fall behind. So what I think I'm going to do is just kind of call it here for June, do my 6 little pictures of the 6 books that I read, and then set up for July in my next video. And there are already a couple 5 stars that I'm super excited for in July. In July, I am reading so many things. I've already read quite a few books, so I think I'm gonna do that. I won't be doing any of the reviews here in particular. I didn't have any 5 stars. I feel like I'm already way mentally into July, if that makes any kind of sense. So I think I'm going to maybe skip out on that, and that's okay. You know, this is my first year actually trying to do these reviews. So on my journal, I always review things on Goodreads, and you know, that's kind of how I operate. But I wanted to, for a while, to include some reviews within my journal, and I have been pretty successful. I think I was more successful at the beginning of the year. But I do feel like I don't want it holding me back from all the other content that I have to do here on my journal for the upcoming months. So if I have to pick, then I guess I'll have to do it this way, which I'm okay with. I can always, you know, if I move to do so, add some reviews in other parts of my journal if I really wanted to do that. But I'm happy with just kind of, you know, doing this for now. And I'll go ahead and print out probably like the overview of the month. I'll go ahead and do that and include it on there if I'm able to do that. That way I have at least those numbers to work with. And that might be it for June, guys. I might be ready to set up already for July, you know, and we'll see how that kind of goes, you know. Let me move to my readathons. So my summer ween is here, which, by the way, in my last video I talked about getting bingo this way and this way, and I didn't even notice I got it this way, and I would have never noticed had my husband not pointed it out to me. So I guess I did better than I thought. I also got bingo going this way and this way, so yay me. I was able to get bingo another way, and I feel like it was so easy to do that. So I will be moving on here. This is my Jalo July. I do want to update it with just my picture of the cover for Phenomena, and that's not really part of this update. It's a July thing. I just printed this out, so I want to do it, but I will get to it in my next couple updates. And then for my summer slasher, I have set this up already with my TBR. I have not done any of these things yet because my readathon hasn't started. So I am waiting for that to start. It does begin July 24th through the 31st. It is the last week of July. I would love for you to join me for Summer Slasher. All that information is linked down below and all over my channel and my Instagram and my Discord. So if you would like to join me for that, I would love it. I would appreciate it. I think it'd be so much fun. So that's pretty much going to be this video, guys. I went ahead and updated my entire month of June. I can't wait to begin updating July. I might have to do 2 sessions of updating for July, guys. That's how much I've already read, and that's how much I am planning on reading because of all these readathons that I am taking part in, and because it is July and I'm on vacation, so I get to read a little bit more than I normally do. Thank you guys so much for spending some of your time with me. I appreciate you more than you know. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please make sure that you subscribe. Give this video a like, leave me a comment, let's talk a little bit, let me know how your June reading month went, and let me know what are you currently working on for July, and let me know if you're planning on joining me for any of my reading plans, either by joining the book club or reading along with Summer Slasher. Thank you guys once again. I look forward to talking to you in my next video. Bye!